We are back with your favorite show, The League of the Genuine Conversation. This show is dedicated 100% to a discussion, a conversation about counterfeits and fakes. So every week, every Friday, we are together to discuss this subject for the purpose of giving you information, of ensuring that your shopping is safe and ensuring that you and your family are okay. So we are continuing our programming with a discussion with my guest here. She has a very unique name. Miss, is it correct to call you Madame King?
That's fine.
So your full names?
Keroy King.
Keroy King. So who is the queen in your life?
No.
There is no queen, there is another king.
Yes,
okay.
yes, definitely.
So Keroy is an author, a business owner. You are a returnee. You're a Ugandan who's just returned from the United States. You're living out of California for
That's
20 years?
Yes, 22.
22 years.
Yes.
Why would you leave the land of opportunity to come back to our dust down here in Uganda? Why is that?
Well, many people wonder, but just like in the hero's journey, you go out, collect all kinds of knowledge, then you have a desire to bring and share it home. And that desire was there for the longest time. And I always knew that I would be back. At least every year I would come and visit for Christmas and all that, but with the intention that one day I'll be back home.
You'll be back. Heroes return. We have a challenge here. A lot of our youth, a lot of people here think that the ideal life is out there. And so somebody gets an education, the earliest opportunity they have to get a passport. They want to go and search for greener pastures. Is it actually green here or greener here?
Yes, you know, whether it's wealth creation or any form of creation, it can be done anywhere. That's the mindset we have to take on. If you always think it's out there, we shall go always chasing. And when you get out there, you find, oh, there is nothing there. So you find your way back, you know. But anywhere you can create. I was here for just a few months and I created from scratch. Because when I came, I didn't have a real plan. It was pandemic. You know, and I'm like, okay, what skills do I have? That's another thing everyone should remember. Skills are transferable. So anywhere you are with the skills.
What skills rather than what qualifications?
What skills? Oh, the qualifications, that's the illusion, you know? Cause
it's not an illusion. Everybody is driving into, now the kids are sitting, final exams.
Yes.
You know, so they are candidates this year. Every parent is pushing. I would like you to come up with top score with a first grade. You're saying this is an illusion, this is fake?
Not necessarily. We all need the basic understanding of just how life works, reading and writing, critical thinking, but it's not the only thing you need. There is more. You need to understand yourself in order to avoid the counterfeits, you know. So no, it's not fake. Yes, it's necessary, but it's not the only thing.
It's not the only thing. I saw something. I saw a post here online. I think it was the managing director of the National Social Security Fund. And he says that at the fund we are no longer hiring because you have the best degree. We are hiring because of skills and experience. We have got guys who can write the best code and have never gone to the university. A first class is no longer that important. So in the context of fake, are you saying that we might just be having upon us some fake product in the form of our current education?
Sorry to say, but yeah, the structure is not designed to empower us be self-sustaining.
The structure of education now.
Yes, yes. You walk out with a degree, then you ask yourself, now what? Children should not be doing that. By age 8 or 12, someone can bake a cake and can earn a proper living with it. So does the education system need to be revamped? Yes, and all the way from the grassroots. There are critical things we are not learning. Personal finance. Ask someone from the university when they earn their first paycheck. They didn't realize government takes off taxes. They are shocked. Where's my money less? You see? How come no one talked about it all the way? You see?
Until you're an adult.
Until you're an adult. It shouldn't be that way. Kids, all my nieces and nephews, oh yeah, they have little piggy banks, age 2. If you show her money, she knows to pick the $50,000 note. She's like, I want that one. Yes, yes. So you keep grooming them to have skills, to be able to do things, to be able to create. That's another thing. We are training people who just follow, waiting for instruction. And if no one gives an instruction, we sit. As a people, we are very passive. I don't know where we got that from. Someone sends you an email and says, hello, and they wait. You think, what? They're waiting for you to say hello back so that they start the conversation. Do you have time for that? I don't. You say, hello, my name is this. This is what I need. You give all the instructions.
Go to the point.
Yeah, exactly. Then I have something to answer back that will forward the conversation. Too passive. And where are we getting that from? The schooling. You have to always obey. If you don't obey, you're the bad child. Guess what? The wild hairs, those are the ones we need because they're the ones who create the change we need. They see further than
King,
most
you're
of us.
promoting in discipline. Here we would like kids who follow orders. This is a nice kid. The description of a nice kid is one who follows orders and regulation.
Yes, and it's destroying the children because there is a way to follow orders with discipline and creativity without breaking their spirit. If you break a child's spirit, they'll always, even in the adulthood,
they will be subdued.
Yes. Tell them, ask for a raise. I've told about
my boss is so tough.
Exactly. You know, it's like start your own business. Don't you see the competition out there? Everybody.
Failed.
Yes. You see, and it doesn't have to be that way. So there is a way to discipline while encouraging the spirit to grow wider. For example, at least in our household, my parents always tell the little ones, teach them from understanding. Tell them why not to touch the fire. Don't just be, don't touch the fire, don't touch the fire. No.
Say, don't touch it.
Because why?
Yes,
give them. They may be young, but there is a level of understanding. So you give them understanding so they'll know. No. Fire hot. We don't touch there.
Fire burn.
Yes.
Fire cry.
Yes. Don't go. But you haven't broken their spirit. So they remain vibrant and experimental and creative. And that's what you want from an adult.
But Keroy, don't you think rather than blame schooling that is fake and not giving the right content, don't you think parenting is that big thing which is actually turning us upside down into fake, passive people that...
You see, it's a combination of the two.
Having lived in 2 continents,
yes,
in the US and here.
It's a combination of the two. Parents need to do their part. And the schools need to do their part. The problem is now we have parents who have never had a chance to have their wings, you know, to experiment, be adventurous, create. So how are they going to parent their kids? The same way they were parented. Be submissive, be good, make sure you sleep by 8, you know, eat only vegetables or something. But there has to be an element of freedom, meaning now we have to teach the parents too. Yes, because they didn't get a chance. You know, life, there are circumstances. So in this situation, I don't think we want to blame one side or the other. It's a combination of so many moving parts. So everybody do your part. If you're a parent, learn how to educate your kids. Stronger kids, spirited, creative, you know. And yeah, and I think there will be a change. That's why I came back home.
This show is about counterfeits.
Yes.
The faking culture.
Yes.
Of counterfeits, products, services, everything. Do you think this education, this parenting is conspiring to deliver a counterfeit culture?
Definitely. Definitely. Is it okay? There is that quote from the Bible, right? You'll know them from their fruit.
You know them.
You'll know them from their fruit. Meaning the root will define what you're seeing on the fruit. So if our root, I'm getting to your point, if our root is damaged or is brought up in a certain way, our fruit, which is the children and everything, will be a certain way. Meaning, if we are counterfeit by nature, it has become a culture, it's everywhere. So
we allow it.
Yeah, we allow it.
You can't fight it.
You can't, it's too big. You feel it's too big. You can't, so you just give it up and go along with it. Guess what? The product is going to be a counterfeit culture, where everybody accepts it, and those who try to speak out will be like, oh, what's happening? Everybody's doing it. What are you saying?
Why are you?
Exactly.
So Keroy, why did you choose, or why did you accept to come to this show? We're talking about something that is totally ignored. Why you? Why Keroy?
First, I love to talk and chat with you, but
are you a politician or?
Oh no.
Politicians who talk and pastors and.
No. But no, I wanted at least to add my little 2 cents to that conversation and bring awareness.
You think it's an important conversation?
It is a very important conversation because we are losing a lot. You know, we think we can't create, so we decide to go with the closest thing you can find that is fake. We think we can't afford, so we go with with whatever you find on the market. Yet there are consequences. They may not be now, but later on. That's why I always tell people, keep a budget, right? So when you see every time you buy that school bag, this kid, 2 weeks the bag is broken. What's happening?
Then you blame the kid.
You blame the kid for playing too much, right?
It's indisciplined.
Yes. No.
But you the parent,
you
make the decision
exactly
to purchase, not the kid.
Exactly. And you purchased maybe whatever could fit in your pocket at the time. And yet, if you saved a little longer, a little better, and researched around for better quality, it would be there and it would last. I'll take myself an example. I bought a bag from, I think it was called Fossil. I think it's still there, Fossil. It was a leather bag for college. And I used that bag the whole time through college. It would never break until I got tired and gave it away. It was durable. It withstood all the abuse of a college student, and it was still there. A bit pricey for that level at that time, earning quite little, and you spend like 80,000 or something on a school bag. You're like, but it lasted.
It lasted.
Yes.
So because you have this segment of your life, 22 years living in the US, so somebody looking at you will say, what exposure? You've not had an experience with fakes. Maybe you're not somebody who should be talking to us about counterfeits. You don't have experience. In America, there's no counterfeits. In Uganda, you've only been here since 2021. Is there counterfeits in the US?
Definitely. This is a universal problem. It is everywhere.
There is counterfeits.
Yes. You can go, you want to buy maybe a bracelet. There is the good gold and there's the real gold, You want to buy food.
And it's sold openly. Or it's like you have to go to some...
No. Okay, I'll give, for example, I was in Los Angeles. And there was this street where you knew there are knockoffs. You go there, particularly...
They call them knockoffs.
Yes,
discounts.
We call them knockoffs. Not discounts, knockoffs. It's like the fake of a certain brand. It's a knockoff of the real thing. So you go there just to purchase the Gucci or the, but you know it's fake, and they're selling it $10. You know,
but many people here who are watching, the young people who are buying online, they think knockoffs actually is the deal. They look deliberately for knockoffs, and you're saying most knockoffs or all knockoffs are fake actually?
A knockoff is the definition of fake. Knockoff is fake. They knocked it off the real thing. So that's the term we use, a knockoff.
A knockoff is a fake.
It is a fake.
So you're saying in the US, there is a huge market for knockoffs?
Yes, fakes
and
are everywhere.
there's a huge supply chain for knockoffs, and it's in the open.
It's in the open, but it's not legal. Because every so often you hear they go and sweep them out. Yes, exactly. But you as a buyer, you know that street you can find a bag kind of that looks like the other real thing you saw online.
So you post
go
on Facebook and
yes,
everybody is like, you nailed it.
Yeah, because these real things, first of all, they are too pricey for the average Joe. And most of them even come with certificates of authenticity.
Certificate?
No. The real thing has a certificate of authenticity. So if you have any bag or knockoff, it's just fake. It looks like the other one, but it's not the other one.
So you're saying this is a universal
It's a universal problem.
Developed world, developing world, underdeveloped world.
Yes.
This is a problem.
It is a problem everywhere. But from what I understand is the quality of fake that goes like to the US is not the quality of fake that comes to the African countries.
So there is
there are even grades
there is good fake, better fake, worst fake.
Yes. Some that is real clothes. Haven't you? Well, I walk into warehouses all the time of shoes and everything, and as soon as you walk, plastic fills your nose. You're like, oh, this is all fake.
Of shoes.
Yeah, you know, all this is fake because why would it smell so bad? You know. And yet...
Keroy, we're going to take a break. We will return. You'll tell us why you walk into the warehouses with fake shoes.
Oh, all right.
If you do. Okay, we take a break. We're back with the second segment of this League of the Genuine conversation here with Madam King Keroy Gakwaya. Keroy, you were saying that you enter these stores or warehouses with plastic smelling and you know this is fake. So we want to know why then you go there?
Oh, first you're looking for deals. And these deals are usually in outlets or big stores, warehouse looking pretty much, shoes from top to bottom. So you go in and that smell, you just know.
You should be
cheap.
smelling leather.
Exactly. But if your affordability level is that, I don't even think you realize the smell. You know, you're just looking for a shoe. But then as you start looking for genuine things, you know that's the wrong place to go. So you start looking for better options.
But I have visited the US several times. I have visited Ugandans out there. And many of them are actually purposely looking out for deals.
Yes.
I have been to a home where you go to the kitchen, there is some tinned foods there, and you check the expiry date. It's expired or a few days to expire. And the guy is like, no, this is okay. I mean, that is for whites. For us, we consume this. Do you think Africans have in their DNA a penchant for consuming counterfeits? Because even in the US, they would like to.
I wouldn't say it's in the DNA, but I would say it's part of habit, you know. We think we are a bit stronger than the normal, you know,
Maybe
in terms of immune system.
Maybe
yes, that is true.
We are the original man.
But also being unaware of things. Because if you know the consequence of eating something that they've declared expired, you would be a bit more cautious. But if you're unaware, and maybe you tested it, nothing happened, or you didn't even realize the test changed, you go with it.
But isn't it also a function of mindset? Many Africans will not readily come to the high table of humanity and take their place. Many think they are second class or third class. That's not for us. Isn't this complex also?
Yes, the inferiority complex. That's why I'm telling you we are such a passive generation, and I don't get it. But it comes from generations of, you know, you have to kneel down for your elder. You have to be humble. You have to, it's good to be humble, but if you're already low and they tell you to humble, you're going down.
You go in the ground.
Yes. Before you've lifted your head, you see? So, yes, it's a mindset. Yes, you have to get yourself out of it. I'll give you an example when I was in college, right? You're in class and they're expecting every black person to drop out. Why? That's what they do. For me, I wasn't aware of that. My background, everyone has to go to school. So for me, I sit in class. They're waiting. When is she dropping out now? Second year? Yes. Why? I didn't have that mindset that girls are supposed to drop out, you're the minority. I didn't know all that stuff. I realized later, after graduating, that, oh, you were among the minority, but you broke all the rules. I'm like, oops, sorry.
Who set the rules?
Exactly.
We set the rules or they set the rules for us?
I think it was it's a combination of the two. They set the rules. Then we abided to the rules out of survival most of the time, you know. For example, if you had a line of slavery, out of survival, you had to be submissive maybe. Here, out of, you know, we've had a whole generation of a lot of distraction. Out of survival, many have to be submissive in order to survive. Then your children are watching. So they learn, this is how we do it. Then if you get the freedom ticket, it's like you still behave like you were imprisoned. I always share with the eagles the elephant with the pink rope. Because they are trained in India to behave a certain way, to transport. Exactly.
So they grow up that way.
They grow up that way. They tie them with a pink little rope on the leg. An elephant, if it just did like this, it would be free.
3 times, it doesn't move.
But as soon as it sees, it doesn't even have to move. As soon as it sees, it remembers, I have to stay here. This is how it is.
So do you think that we Africans, we have a pink little rope of counterfeits that continues to enslave us? Is counterfeiting a form of continuation of that slavery in the mind?
Yes, you know, when I used to read a lot of slavery material, and we realized once the chains were off, they put them in the head, in the mind. So the chains are there, and it's not one. There are many, you know, limited beliefs. I can't do that because in our family we don't do that. I can't move there because, you know, things of that nature. So those limited beliefs are all ingrained. Now, good news, all these things can be changed. First, awareness, just like we are doing here. And I'm so grateful. Thank you for inviting me. Yes.
Consuming counterfeits is also a limiting belief that we have.
Yes.
I can't afford.
Yes.
That is for the other people.
Yes. Yes. I remember the first shirt I ever bought that was real, like a real good, the good thing. It was like 120. I shivered like for a month. Yes, for a whole month. Like, oh, I spent so much. Do you know how much food I can buy with that money?
120 bob.
Oh, it was so much, but I was determined to cross over. I was like, no, I can afford this. You work so hard. You budget.
But this is what you are saying.
Yes.
That it is for you, you are entitled, you are equal to others who can buy it. And you are saying that there's a battle in the mind now of many Africans who will also be saying, I cannot spend too much on the genuine.
No,
I have to settle for the $10 thing, $1 thing.
Yes, yes. But once you test the authentic and genuine, oh, you can't go back. You'll sit and save until you get the real thing, however small. But as you said, it will take awareness. Know thyself. You deserve the best that life has to offer. The best. That tomato you're buying, it has to be the best. You know, the banana, you test it and you're like, this is real, you know, not fake. But it will take you as an individual to decide. The good thing is, if a parent decides, naturally, they will transfer it to their children. Naturally, you don't even have to do much. Yes, please.
Woman, black skin, nice hair.
Yes.
The African woman has taken to killing the hair, killing the skin. Do you think the African sisters are letting us down in this fight to emancipate ourselves against fakes? Do you think, how do you defend the African woman? Seeing the practices.
Seeing the practices, I believe in freedom of all sorts. Because in that freedom, we can find our true expression. Unfortunately, as you're going...
A fake expression or the genuine expression?
You know, as you're going to the genuine, chances are you're going to experiment with so many things, including the fake. Because these are life experiences here we are living. Then, with time, because no one is going to jump from the fake straight to the genuine. There is a process, a learning curve, the up and down, until one day they are like, I think I prefer this, without changing so much. But we have to allow the growing curve.
But are you saying for the young ladies, we don't have an obligation as the older people not to let them experiment, hurt themselves, destroy their skins, get disease out of it, swallow I don't know what stuff to change their color? Are you saying that we should sit back and let this fakeness continue without any obligation on our part?
No, that I think will be irresponsible. We have to always intervene, but delicately.
Intervene now. Tell the young lady with her beautiful black skin. Intervene now and save them from the dangerous experiment.
Okay, first, you are beautiful just the way you are. And you can do all things without tampering with yourself, you know. But that has to be said again and again until they believe it. So it won't be from just one random person. It has to be the same thing at home, the same thing in media, the same thing everywhere, so that they walk with that confidence where they feel it's not necessary. But if you find a line of ladies and the gentlemen are all looking to, oh, that's the one we are marrying, that one, the light one, only the light one.
What is it with light women? I'm told they...
Actually, I don't know. The gentleman should tell us.
No, you need to tell me. What is it with the light color? Generally, light is considered...
I think it goes back to maybe history, kings and queens, and, you know, part of beautifying was putting you in the ghee and you all come out shimmery and all light. And so they put you as part of a higher ranking than... And all
that
those,
is a fallacy.
Exactly. All those things need to be destroyed, you know. But how do we destroy them? Us encouraging our sisters, brothers all the time. Believe me, if you know thyself and you feel empowered enough, it's not necessary. But a little beautifying here and there, I am for it.
Beautifying should be to enhance who you are, not to create a new creature.
Are they creating new creatures?
I mean, there are some people you went to school with. They used to look a certain color. When you meet them now,
you're like, what's happening? Yes, there are extremes also. You know, extremes, maybe it's mental disease, or you've seen the plastic surgery where they've really changed everything. So there are many moving parts that need to be addressed.
You are a finance person. In our next segment,
okay,
we're gonna take a break shortly, but because you are somebody who talks about financial literacy, and I think you've written even books in that respect, counterfeits affect your financial freedom, your financial choices.
Yes.
You can give a preface for that before we go for the break. Counterfeits and finances. What is the relationship?
Oh, it's loss everywhere. So if you engage...
I thought when you consume counterfeits, some people think save, you're saving money.
No, at the moment in time, it appears as though you're saving money until you look at your budget, maybe for a month or 2 months, and you realize a year. Most are not too disciplined to keep a budget for a year, but okay. For a year, you find that you've spent too much. And if only you were patient enough to accumulate, maybe for 3 months for that real thing, it would have saved you. Because real things usually last a little longer, way longer.
Than the fake imitations. And in this era where we have an upsurge in consumer prices for everything, I have not seen any counterfeiter saying, for me, the prices for the counterfeit has gone down. So most likely they are also still selling high. So it's a double loss. You lose on the value, and then you're still paying
too much. Yes, the bandwagon effect. Following what's going on. If you see your neighbor is raising price, you're like, oh, me too, let me raise, for no reason. Even if you bought your things at a lower price, for you as the consumer, you'll always lose. You'll always lose. Yes, you'll always lose.
We need to take a break and come back for our last segment. We're back with the third and last segment. I wish we could have 4 segments of this interesting discussion here with Keroy, a Ugandan. Are you American citizen or you both? Duo?
Both.
Okay, are you an American Ugandan or Ugandan American? You are an author.
Yes.
As well. And I think that's both a good and bad thing.
How so?
We are told that if you want to hide something from an African, you put it in writing. What are you hiding from fellow Africans in these beautiful books? Maybe you just take us through each of these books that you have written. Show the camera what is the first book?
The first one is Wisdom Nuggets for the Soul. So
Wisdom Nuggets for the Soul.
Yes, this is wisdom that will open you up, give you encouragement of all sorts. On that bad day, you just open any page and read and get some form of inspiration.
Let me open. Let me just open now. But first of all, before I open,
yes,
Wisdom Nuggets.
Yes.
This is intellectual property.
Yes, it is. Yes.
This is part of copyright.
Yes.
You have rights here.
Yes, I do.
This is like a land title. You own property.
Yes, I do.
How are you protecting your copyright?
Well,
is this registered as copyright? Where have you?
Yes, I got someone in the legal field to help me with all that. So
you have a registration?
Yes, I hope I do. Yes, because I got someone to protect it. And talking about intellectual property, may I just say something?
Yeah.
Because especially with creators.
Ideas.
Yes, ideas. When the idea is flowing, it's as though you've tapped into something, something divine. And when you go into the intellectual or the legalistic things, the flow kind of stops. That's why we end up outsourcing such responsibilities to someone in like the legal department so that you stay creating.
So
yes.
these wisdom nuggets, because in the academia there's what they call plagiarism.
Yes, I heard of it.
Copy somebody's work,
put
and
it
don't
there.
give a credit to them.
Yes.
So are all these nuggets the nuggets of King Keroy?
Oh, yes.
So if I read anything out here, it is original.
It is original.
I will not find it anywhere else.
I hope not, because if it's there, it means it's mine. Yes.
If it's there, it would mean it's yours.
Yes. Okay. Why?
Because
of the way we receive them, these creations. There is the creation where someone sits and thinks and goes to 8 years of schooling to create something. Then there are those that you just receive, just as gifts, through the mind. and you start jotting them down.
Let me read from your book.
Okay.
On page 49 of this book, Wisdom Nuggets.
Okay.
There's a quote here. The more surrendered you are to life as it is. You're telling us to surrender to life as it is. So if we have a life of fakes and all this, we surrender to this, but then you're saying the easier it will be to adjust to changes as we grow and awaken to greatness. What is the genuine, authentic meaning of
such? That goes way deeper, because surrender allows you to hear more and think more. For example, if I was here and bothered about everything that is going on outside, it would be hard to have a conversation.
About counterfeits.
It is necessary. There is a time for everything. But as you surrender and hear, that's when you get solutions. That's when you find thyself, who would always seek genuine things.
So the surrender here is...
The surrender is personal.
It's the understanding, the deep understanding. You must get immersed in.
Yes, in you, because there is what I call the GPS, the inner GPS. If we are too loud, you can't hear your GPS telling you go here, go create that. You can't hear none of that.
So how can we use this quote here, this surrender, to fight back against counterfeits?
1, know thyself and follow the instructions you get as you, as an individual.
My instruction is I'm a human being, I'm entitled to the best, I should consume genuine. So if I get that understanding and surrender to it,
you will naturally. Actually, going for authentic things is our natural way of being. It's like if you put a
natural way.
Yes, if you put a plant right there, it's going to look for the sun and it will start bending, looking where is the sun coming from.
But for us, our sun are the fakes. We are bending towards them. That's not the sun.
The
genuine is the sun.
That bending of the fakeness is the bandwagon, because it's too noisy. Where did you buy it? Oh, over there. How much? Okay, bring for me too. No thinking, no. But if you know thyself,
blind faith.
Yeah, everything takes a little time. You know, you think through things. What will be the consequences?
You're saying
and
that
what are the instructions?
Fight against counterfeits takes a personal confrontation. It's personal to you as a human being.
Yes.
The government will not decide for you. Your father will not decide. It's personal to you. And if you take it as a personal responsibility, then you can join the army to fight the...
Naturally. You see, and that's, I tell our egos all this time, personal responsibility. I don't care. Personal responsibility. Get quiet time and sit in your corner. I wrote these 2 books during the pandemic when we were in the lockdown. Yes, that's how creators work. In the darkness, we sit and we create and write.
Most people were gossiping and this one has died.
That's the thing. Too noisy to hear the instructions, to find your worth. Do you know that through that surrender, you'll know who you are? You realize all the limiting beliefs. You realize, why have I been doing that? It's not necessary. I keep fighting. Not necessary.
People consuming counterfeits don't know who they are.
Naturally. If you don't know who you are, anybody else is going to tell you who you are. And you're going to follow the wind. Today, you're with this one, they're telling you. Tomorrow, you found this one. Don't you have friends like
Somebody
that?
Somebody said, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there.
Amen to that. Yes.
Let me read the last one. You say again here, this is authentic, it's yours. If I go into Google and punch this,
go.
You say the external search for answers is an illusion. All answers are within. Dig deep within yourself to find them. I guess this supplements what you've just been saying.
Yes. All my quotes rotate around the big vision of know thyself. Know thyself. It's a searching and a digging and removing of the layers that society has put on us. You know, there are questions I used to ask myself. Who is Keroy without the labels? If no one calls you an author, an educator, who is she? The real she. Without being aunt or any of that. Who is she? then you remove.
Where can people find this where is it being sold? In the bookshops?
Yeah, San Pan-African Library in Bugolobi, and at Sunshine in Kitintale.
Sunshine, we're going to talk briefly about what you're doing now in Uganda. The other book, tell us.
Live Like a King Without Growing Broke. This was my first book.
Live Like a King.
Without growing broke.
You don't write for queens. You only...
Well...
You're not gender sensitive.
No, you can be a king while you're still a lady. It doesn't matter. This is just portraying the highest value you can be. Whichever way you define it, it's fine. You know, and yes, this was a financial guide based on my own financial struggles, actually, after I graduated school. I started writing down things to help me go in a direction I want, as teaching financial things, you know, and yeah.
So this is a book on financial freedom.
Yes, yes.
Can you talk about meaningful financial freedom whilst you are drowning in counterfeits, consuming, buying, selling? Can there be financial freedom with counterfeits? My simple answer with that will be no. Financial freedom with counterfeits will take you deeper into spending too much, yet it's not necessary. If you don't spend on the product, you might spend on the side issue of your health.
Yes,
effect.
Yes, side effects.
If it's a government, the taxes will go down because you'll not collect enough. You'll have unemployment because the legitimate employers will close because of competition from the fakes. As a country, you'll not be able to export your maize, your beef to the EU because of the fakes. So for a country, for a person, financial freedom impossible with fakes.
Yeah. Now the solution, you know, the solution goes back. Awareness, knowing yourself, so you don't accept to go with the fakes.
Here in your book, you talk about one of the biggest purveyors of counterfeits.
Yes.
You talk about online shopping. You're pushing people to go to online shopping.
Yes.
But how are you preparing them to deal with a lot of fakes that increasingly are sold on online? And also tell us, have you had an experience with online fakes?
Yes, I've had an experience with online fakes, and many of my friends, because it's out there, you know, you buy even a small thing as a journal, you know, they've priced it a certain way, you get it and you're like, well, this is not what I saw there, you know, and then trying to recover is almost impossible. But then how to protect yourself online? First, know your vendors, know their quality and style, you know, instead of going through a third party, go directly to the company.
You will know your vendor, like you said, Fossil. And somebody will know that Fossil is a popular brand.
Yes.
And they will imitate it and give you something, an imitation, something similar. So for me, I think I'll be dealing with Fossil. How do I know? Online?
Yes, online. That's why I'm saying go directly to the company. Actually all companies right now at least have a website where you can go directly. And if they don't sell to maybe one-on-one, they'll direct you to who carries their stuff. That way you protect yourself. Then you find out what are the return policies. If you get that thing and it's like, this doesn't look right, how easy is it to return? You know, many of them...
But then sometimes, Keroy, there are reviews. By the time you make a decision to buy a product, you might actually check out the product reviews. And we know on this show that a lot of the reviews for these products are just manufactured. They are fake. Yes,
actually, I was going to say that. They are fake. That's why you go directly to the company and you hope the company is right. But the fake counterfeit industry is so huge and extremely sophisticated that finding trusted vendors is like the only way to go. Otherwise, all the third parties, you think you trust them, you don't know what's happening behind the scenes, so you may get trapped into a fake thing or not.
Here on this show, we have identified Dankani, an acronym, to speak to the drivers of counterfeiting.
Yes.
As an American Ugandan, what do you think is the biggest driver of counterfeiting? Is it depreciation, affordability, convenience, aspiration, would like to look this way? Is it negligence? What is that thing?
For me, what I've observed mostly is affordability. The reality on the ground is
cash
is strapped, you know. You have 3 kids, you need milk, and you need a boda to go somewhere, and you have only 20,000 to get to the next paycheck. What are you going to do?
But you love your kid. So will you go and buy something, some food, which if you know it is contaminated and will affect your child, will you buy it? Don't you think the lack of knowledge of the concealed dangers of counterfeits is making us go and purchase the counterfeits more than the affordability, because you cannot afford to kill your child?
No. Actually, you're right about that, because most people don't know how bad it is. Or they think, you know, this element of thinking it's long term, just for
it's not
today.
Visible.
Yes,
the danger is not visible.
It's not visible. You've never had anyone suffer from. You hear all the disclaimers on a certain tablet. There are so many, they make you more sick than, you know. But because it's not visible, you haven't seen anyone suffering from it. You're like, just
even
for
if you've
today.
seen, you're not sure
Yes,
if the cause
is that one.
Is what they've been eating for 10 years.
Exactly. So we always think we are set apart and we want to be among those who suffer that.
We always think it's other people who die.
Exactly.
Not us.
Yes. So the element of compromising will increase, especially if there is an immediate need and there is a little solution there, temporary, you know, like a bandage. Let's get some food today and tomorrow we shall buy the good stuff. But
what you're saying is that if we have more programming that creates awareness,
yes,
then in a way we shall have more consciousness,
yes,
top of the mind awareness, and slowly by slowly, incrementally, we shall start looking out for the genuine. We have to close, but we need to know what you are doing in Uganda now. Sunshine Financial Services.
Yes.
You're making money in Uganda, loads of money. Tell us about Sunshine.
Well, Sunshine Financial Services, we are an inclusive financial services, you know, company, and we do microloans. We have an agency bank on it, and
you're a money lender.
Well,
lenders
yes.
are not very popular in this time.
I hear, and maybe we are going to change that based on the approach, you know.
Sunshine will lead the way. You are the sunshine for money lenders.
Amen
to
that.
Do you lend money?
Oh, right now,
I'll for a loan or something.
Well, you may not be in our market, but yes, most of our target market is the ground crew, the market vendors, the borders, because we do very, very micro loans to help them step, you know, just one step
from how
forward.
Much to how much?
We are around 50,000 to
wow.
500,000. So it's real micro. Yes. And I always tell my clients, in a year, you're going to give me a report. If you're not moving from here to here, you're not coming back. Yes, because the objective is to help them move from one step to another.
Tell me, does Sunshine ask me what I'm going to use the money for? Supposing I'm going to borrow $500,000 from you and I'm going to trade in fakes.
Oh, yes, we do ask what they are going to use it for, but most of the time, since we are learning to business owners, we never go, you know, to the company to see what's happening there and into their very many details, but we are hoping that they are doing the right thing. Because I always assume we are all growing and growing for the better.
Because you could be giving some of those vendors who are actually going and procuring the, you know, the poison tomatoes or the vegetables and selling them. You've seen those stories.
Yes, unaware. Oh, Possibly, because remember,
So
the counterfeit is very sophisticated.
Yes, so our argument is that financial services are also promoting counterfeit businesses. And our argument is that deny credit to a counterfeit trader.
Definitely, if it's visible, you know, but remember the level of sophistication. Because if someone is buying tomatoes that they've brought from, you know, a certain village, and they are buying them at, let's say, Nakawa market, the resources to follow up.
We are sophisticated enough as human beings, as complete, as
yes.
God created us, to handle the sophistication around counterfeits. Would you agree?
I do agree.
Your message to the people viewing.
Oh,
about counterfeits and life and anything.
Yes, thank you so much. First of all, you can do better. You can afford those things you need, and you can afford them genuinely. And the genuine part will help you go forward. You'll spend less, and you'll all around have a better life. And that's my message.
That's your message? We've been interviewing Keroy King.
Yes.
She is a Ugandan returnee, Ugandan American citizen. You heard she said counterfeits are everywhere, even in California where she was staying, studying, they had fakes as well. Counterfeits is a global problem, but it is also a personal problem. It's our responsibility in every household to ensure that we declare war on counterfeits. We would like to sign off by thanking you as always, your good audience. We would like to remind those who are joining us for the first time, this is the only show on the planet where we discuss the important but neglected subject of counterfeits. Don't forget to share. If you liked our content, if you've learned something, don't forget to put the reminder, and don't forget to make a date with us every Friday evening. Don't be fake, buy and sell genuine.